And I'm Black. Hello Shello, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of NELLYVYLLE Reviews Drag Race Season 18. This is episode 7. Do not forget that you can check out an audio-only version of this series. And if you are already listening on the podcast audio-only version, you can see a full video over on YouTube. Okay, now we've taken care of housekeeping and business and all that. All out of the way, let's jump right into the episode. Now, first of all, let me just say, we are at the point where, you know, the girls have been for a while. Relationships have been made, bonds are being made, but the fans and things are creating parasocial relationships. It's always hard to see a girl go. It's always hard to watch a queen's dreams crumble right in front of their face. But you know what? There's always all-stars. Everything happens for a reason. There can only be one crown, you know? So with all that being said, we're at the point of the season where it's going to get really hard. It's going to get really touchy to say goodbye. And this was a very emotional episode for it was a moment. Now, this other little thing, and maybe I'll talk about this more on the regular episodes of NELLYVYLLE, but I just want to come out and say that I just found out that Jane lied about being a lawyer. Remember in like the Meet the Queens or in the first episode or something rather? She was like, yeah, I'm a lawyer. Come to find out, she was like, oh no, I was just joking. It didn't land, but no, I wasn't serious. I mean, maybe you were joking, but a weird joke, weird amount of time to clear it up. So, anyways, let's get right actually into episode 7. This is Drag Queens for Change episode. So here we are in the workroom after Sierra's elimination. Sierra, love you so much, girl. You know, it is what it is. Mikey walking in after the elimination happened. Mikey, baby, she got a stank walk, stank face. She is so hurt, which of course she was in the bottom, which we talked all about the Raider Queen and all the jacked upness and blah blah blah. But baby, she was feeling some kind of way, baby. She was hurt. Which, you know, we understand. Discord tells Athena she's recruiting her for her band. And I thought that was funny. That was cute. Jane is bitter boobs. Which, when whatever. Jane, great queen. But I'm going to need for you to come off better on TV. Let's work on that. The girls start discussing the voting. And Athena, of course, is talking too much. She's talking too much. Look, take your win and shut up because you're about to put your foot in your mouth. Athena, she just talking. Anyways, and then Vita seemed like she was about to lie about where she placed Discord, and I was like, you placed her one spot higher than the bottom. You put Discord second to the bottom after you set up her and told that girl that you had her, that y'all good, that and you put her almost in the bottom. I'm sorry, somebody tell me they got me. I don't think that means you're gonna put me second from the bottom. But anyways, we spent a lot of time talking about Raider Queen last week. I'm not gonna get into it again. And plus, their little book's about to come sit on the desk, so I don't know why you trying to fix your lips to lie, girl. We're about to see exactly where you placed her. Anyways, Mikey is sitting over there and she starts to cry and the stuff. And I'm like, look, I cry stuff too. I understand, but it's okay. Anyways, Mikey in her confessional says she's about to prove to the girls that they messed with the wrong one. And I was like, I hope these aren't famous last words. But anyways, I'm like, girl, child, anyways, you got to put in the bottom off of strategy. I don't know if the girls actually thought that she was bad or if it's just how it worked out because of how the alliances and stuff all played out. I don't know, whatever. So here we are with the next day. Athena is filling her oats, walking into the workroom, and you know what? It's getting on my nerves. Yes, you guessed it. Mikey is wearing a shirt that says revenge. Baby, she's coming. She's like, you know what? Y'all messing with me. I'm wearing my little revenge shirt. And I'm like, okay, girl, calm down. And then they see the Raider Queen receipts. Let's wake it up. So we bring out the book. I'm gonna put the receipts over here so y'all can you see it, and then you pause it. Look, if you listen to audio, baby, go over to the video. It'll, write down a little timestamp. Or look it up online if you want to see the exact voting of who plays who where. You know what I'm saying? I noticed when they were flipping through the book, it sounded like Mikey called herself Mickey. Was that an accident? Was that on purpose? Is that a nickname? I don't know. Did anybody else notice that? Nene tells Kenya her logic on ranking her in 6th place was that her performance was high energy, but it was predictable. And I think that she gave a fair critique. I don't think that it was harsh. Did she explain a little too much? Like, look, I ranked you where I ranked you, but I don't know. But I mean, she didn't lie, but also, what's understood doesn't need to be said. Whatever. Rue enters. Rue comes in, tells everyone about the Maxi challenge. So the girls are gonna get into pairs, and they're going to create a political campaign about the pros and cons of some topic that they get assigned or that they pick or whatever. Rue saying he deserved an Emmy for that line, and I agree. He said however he worded what the Maxi challenge was. It was very much a tongue twister, and he got it out. You see, I was over stumbling, struggling. Baby, I wasn't gonna get no Emmy off of that part, but Rue was, because Anyway, we'll say that for something else. The pit crew comes in to help with the pairing. So the pairing ends up being as such: Darlene and Vita, Jane and Kenya, Juicy and Mia. And I wrote down, oh, here we go. And then the way Mia's face lit up, but Juicy's face didn't light up, and tell me everything that I needed to know. Mikey and Athena get paired. Nene and Discord. And Nene just put Discord in the bottom last week. So are they going to overcome the tension? Let's see. The pairs get to pick their propositions. They will be filming with Michelle Visage. Kenya feels good about being with Jane. Okay, which of course I would too. Jane is that girl. She's annoying. Damn, she's annoying, but the girl is good. So if I was Kenya, I'd feel pretty good too. I'd be like, okay, as long as I bring it and match her energy, we should be good. So now here we come to the point where the girls come gather around. It's time to pick what proposition the girls want. So Mia really wants proposition double D. Athena and Mikey go with 6969. Nene and Discord, they want Kiki, Kai, whatever it was called. Jane and Kenya want the clown one. Darlene and Vita want padding, which is the same as the double D that Mia and Juicy want. Mia's pushing hard. Mia's like, baby, what, you gonna have to fight me? Darlene put up a fight. She didn't just back down and say, oh, here you go, you can have it. And she even got kind of cute. Had a cute little clever little line about, well, you mean y'all got the age gap, so maybe y'all want to take this social media one, and like I was like, oh, she's calling the girls old. What is going on? I was like, okay, Darlene, you can look hatty. Mia and Darlene, they just going back and forth. Vita chimes in a little bit, because Vita's, the one paired with Darlene. But then Mia tries to bring up receipts on what parts she let Darlene have and Pat in the past, supposedly. And specifically Daisy in the RDR live challenge. And Darlene's like, who have what, when? Plus, baby, that was some challenges ago. I don't care about what I got back then. I want this what I want now. We're talking about today. Anyways, it was a lot of going back and forth. The girls were over it. They were over it. Darlene, I think, offers to do paper, rock, scissors. Mia was like, no, I ain't doing that. Anyways, all in all, Mia and Juicy ended up taking the double D proposition, and Darlene and Vita take social media. The prayers break off to plan. Darlene says in her confessional that the proposition they ended up with was actually working out better for her. See, sometimes you fight for the wrong thing, and in the end, it all works out how it's supposed to. Cut to Mia and Juicy over here on the struggle bus. Baby, they just brought out the papers and pads. They sitting there scratching their heads, still stuck on stupid. You mean to tell me y'all fought this hard to get this proposition and you didn't have no ideas? You just wanted it because you had a giant breastplate that you wanted to wear? You mainly, specifically Mia. Like, Juicy was kind of fighting a little bit, but it was really just me and Darlene going back and forth. And so I can't even really say Juicy was over here fighting for something you didn't even have no ideas for. Eventually, Juicy was like, you know what? We get what we get and it's fine. Juicy in her confessional says she wishes she was paired with a Jane or Mikey. Gee, I wonder why. Could it be because these are two of the people that helped you with every other challenge? Damn, Juicy, what can you do? Mikey helped you with the acting. Jane and Didi Fuego helped you with your sewing. Jane wrote your lyrics for the girl group challenge. I mean, every week somebody's got to do, like, eventually, girl, eventually you gotta do something on your own, shawty, because what is going on? But yeah, which I already knew that, because like I said, Juicy had a look on her face when they got paired together like, this ain't who I want to be with. I don't think it was any shade towards Mia, but I think she knew that she was going to need a lot of coaching, and she's going to need somebody who that was their expertise, and she probably knew that's probably not Mia's expertise. I need somebody that's really going to be able to hold my hand. Now you're just in a situation where the blind leading the blind. Anyway, judging off of how me and Juicy was already immediately on the struggle bus, I was like, yeah, I'm sensing a bottom two in the future. Now it is time for filming with Michelle Visage. Athena and Mikey are first up. Athena is feeling very confident. And she was okay. Athena was trying. Athena was feeling very confident. Now, was she overly confident? Maybe. But I'd rather you come with a lot than stand there with nothing at all, I guess. She was trying to wear all the hats. She was trying to be creative director. She trying to direct and produce Michelle. Baby, relax. No, you're wrong. Don't get too cute now. But like I said, at least she came with something. Mikey seemed fine, but I had to see the finished product, and we'll talk about it. Also, what was up with the southern accent coming from Athena? Now, first, when I was watching them rehearse, I couldn't tell. I'm like, is she doing, like, what? I was confused. But to come to find out, she did actually use the southern accent. I mean, look, it's a very easy go-to, but, you know, in a political campaign, y'all doing pros and cons. I can see how you ended up there doing the stereotypical country white woman voice. Like, I understand, but come on, girls. Let's get a little more creative here. Up next, we had Mia and Juicy. Mia says she's nervous. Shocker. Mia gets some laughs from Michelle, which Mia does seem like she may do well. It seemed like it. And now Juicy is saying she's even more nervous in her confessional. I mean, also, what the heck was Juicy wearing? It was on top of not performing well. What were you wearing? It was crazy. And somebody pointed out a good point. Maybe if they would have switched roles, it would have been better. I think that Mia did pretty well. And I think if Juicy didn't flop so hard, I think would have worked, which I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk about what they actually did in the thing in a little bit. And really, none of the looks were like, ooh, But Juicy was especially not working for me. Michelle tells Juicy she's boring. And nobody wants to hear that. You're in the middle of acting challenge, and the director, your coach, is telling you that it's boring. To me, I don't see how that was a useful comment. Now, maybe they cut out the part where Michelle gave a little bit of advice and some direction, but just telling somebody that they're boring and you're not telling me what you want from me, you're not giving me direction, any tips. I'm just kind of like, Michelle, like, you could have just let that be an inside thought if you weren't going to give any kind of constructive criticism. And then Michelle reminds Juicy how good she was in the RDR challenge, which that makes Juicy even more nervous. Don't tell me how good I was at something else. I'm already like, Michelle, help. Discord and Nene are up next to film their thing off rip. I love both of their looks, and Nene was glowing. Now, I like what Nene was wearing in Discord's skit, but then Nene changed outfits, and I don't know what that was. I didn't care for that look as much. And both of them, their makeup was wonderful. It seems like Discord was doing well. Nene was so lost. Pull through, Nene. You can do it. Now, Discord was a big help. Discord really was just a great team player. Was really helping to give Nene some direction. And I was like, okay. Without being pushy, without being belittling, was just like really just a good team player. Nene says she feels like Discord is dragging her through this challenge. And, and that is what it looked like. But hey, we love a self-aware queen. I'm glad that Nene recognized that Discord was doing the heavy lifting. So at least she acknowledged it and was appreciative of it. Especially, you put her in the bottom. Well, who's helping you now? Who's helping you, baby? My how the tides change. Next up, we have Kenya and Jane. They look good, especially Jane. Michelle says to Jane, and you borrowed Darlene's shoes. And she did. And come to find out, Jane borrowed a lot more than shoes. Borrowed the shoes, the nose, the wig, the she just rummaged through Darlene's suitcase. You're welcome. And I still don't mind the shoes. I know people have been making fun of Darlene's shoes. I don't mind Darlene's shoes like that. Bottom line, it seemed like Kenya and Jane were going to do well. You could already tell just from the filming. Darlene and Vita. Darlene is wearing a different shoe, and Michelle notices. Darlene does very well. Always great energy. Vita doesn't know what B-roll is. I'm not saying that everybody's got to know everything about everything and everybody's got to know everything about TV. You never been on TV before. Maybe you never made a movie. Maybe you never took a film class. Maybe you never, I don't know. But I just feel like even when you was writing, you don't know what you don't know. And Vita, it was a struggle. It started with she didn't know what B-roll was, and it wasn't good. Maybe I thought maybe video might turn it out. Sometimes they'll do an edit where they do bad in the recording, but then the finished product ends up being really great. That didn't happen. And I think that if Vita would have, I could see a world where that pair would win if they were paired, if they were critiqued as a pair, they could have won that challenge. Darlene carried. I don't like Vita's attitude. It's an acting challenge. Shut up and act. She got up there in the confessional talking about, I'm not a high energy girl. It's acting. We're not talking about what your actual real life personality is, and you're on TV. Don't you want TV time? Give us something. This low energy stuff that you've been doing and the other acting challenges and in your talent show, you act, girl, act. Darlene and her confessional is stressing over time because Vita is taking so long to get it together. It got to the point where Michelle was like, we're about out of time and you have you can maybe get like, you need to go through and pick one or two last clips, because this is it. We're out of time. I don't know what to tell you. It is the next day. Darlene says in her confessional that she feels like she could win. Hopefully, they are not judged in pairs. I already said that, because your scene partner wasn't nowhere near you. Darlene did great. I could already tell. Mia is stressing, especially if they're judged in teams, according to her confessional, because she did pretty well, but Juicy, Nene tells Mikey and Athena that Discord carried. We love when a wear queen, like I said. Seems like Nene and Discord are bosom buddies now. It's great to see, especially considering how they started out in the beginning. Mia talks about her first pageant in 2008 and how Kennedy Davenport put her hair in a high ponytail, and they like demonstrated how they snatched up the ponytail and did the thing. It was really funny. We love Kennedy. Kennedy was first on season 7 and then All Stars, and did some other drag race shows and things, but Kennedy has been doing drag for many years, and it's really good. We love Kennedy, so it was nice to see the show kind of take this moment and do like a little homage to Kennedy Davenport. And then Mia teaches the girls some of Kennedy's moves, and it was such a cute moment. Discord talks about her drag being destroyed by her best friend's brother. So just real quick, Discord said that he moved down to Florida with his best friend, and then they lived with the best friend's brother. They were all roommates, and you know, this administration kind of came in the picture. I don't know if it was this term or the first term, I don't know. But the brother was radicalized. And Discord came home one day, all the drag was just destroyed, thrown in the pool, trash, just jacked up. I think some of it was burned, like, and Matt, you know how expensive that stuff is. And then Discord was like, this wasn't even just stuff that I bought, it was stuff that I made. So imagine just coming on all your art, all your drag. It's just really sad that people can just flip the script like that. One day they're cool, and then the next thing you know, they done took the red pill. After Discord tells the story, this opens up a political discussion between all of the girls. A lot of girls from red states, and they tell their stories and talk about, you know, how things are changing. And it was a nice conversation about what's going on today, and how things have changed, and how they hope for everything to get better, and all of that. After the kind of more serious, heavy moment, Mia and Juicy do the Slay For You choreo. Britney Spears, you know, the famous choreo. We all know, we all recognize it. And then cut to Juicy in the confessional was like, if me and Mia are in the bottom, we're gonna put on a show. I'm thinking, damn, girl, is that why y'all over here practicing the Britney choreo? Y'all gonna do a little duet together? If you like, I mean, it's always good to be prepared, but damn, when you already planning, you doing more planning and rehearsing for the bottom lip sync. If you would have put that much energy into the challenge at hand, maybe you wouldn't have to worry about being in the bottom. But you know, we love an aware queen. What can I say? Bring it to the runway. Rue, Fab, Michelle, Fab, Jamal Sims is here, and Leland. They both looking good. Category is, I can see right through her. That's what they said. I'm not saying like that's. I think that's what it was actually called. I can see right through her. You know, I was like, oh, okay, little vernacular, a little flavor. Let's take a look at some of these looks, shall we? Okay, first up, we have Jane. I didn't like it. I know what the references are. We talked about it. I discussed it. I get it. I understand all that. I do not like this outfit. Not one of my favorites from her. I'm so sorry about it. And also, can I just say, I guess, I don't know if everybody got a different prompt, but it didn't look like, it don't look like any of them got the same brief on what this runway was. So I'm guessing I could see right through her. You know, you're supposed to wear something sheer, something see-through, something. But when you see, I mean, and somebody already saw, like, I'm like, So whatever, but no, I didn't like this. Mm-mm. Next up, we have Kenya. No, I didn't like this. She really thought she was giving it to you with this pink leotard. I'm so sorry, honey. No, now Juicy. This was the one. This might be my favorite thing that Juicy has worn. This is one of my favorite looks that has been on this season so far. Look, I know that we talked about nobody's wearing wigs, nobody's wearing hair, but I will make an exception to this. Now, do I think that this fits the brief? Like, what shared was see-through? I don't even care. This is a really, really cool look. Okay, Juicy, I see you. I like the silhouette, the dropped waist, the super long term. It's just very wacky, kooky, but really whimsical and just pretty. Next up, we have Mia. What the Mia? Okay, first of all, I'm glad to see that you have more hair on your head. I'm glad that you didn't come out here with the little kitty cat wig with that big man head and the man shoulders. I appreciate that. But these high ponytails, it's still not enough hair, and it's just not right for your head. These glasses, baby, I don't know what these glasses are doing. Are they crooked on purpose? Was it an accident? If you wanted them to be asymmetrical, you should have went further. But this little construction paper and little saran wrap glasses, please just get those away from me. It's just not good. The boots are kind of cute, but no, this is ugly. I'm sorry. Darlene, goddamn. You were so good in the challenge. Now the judges ate this look up. I did not. I was not one of those people. I think that this was a cop out. So a lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." I'm like, we've seen queens do this before. And I feel like better. I don't think that this was that original. I mean, even just in this season, Mikey came out with this billboard thing. Remember with the legs? It was kind of the same thing. It was like no outfit, but it was like over. Like if you would have had this and then took it off and then he had something underneath, I think it would have been better. This Halloween makeup, like I didn't get it. It's not that I didn't get it, I didn't want it. But maybe I don't know. Maybe it's what kept you from the win. But it seemed like, from what I remember, the judges really loved it. I didn't get it. Vita, girl, we saw you with this in like 3 different fonts. It's given the same color. I don't really know what can we see through. Like, are you supposed to be soap, water? This wig, okay, look, I know the girls like to do the wet effect with the hair. Here's the thing. You can't just wet a wig. I don't know if the wig is actually just wet. I don't know. But there is a very particular way and very specific products that you have to use on hair, on a wig, to make it appear wet and make it styled. You don't just have wet hair. That's not how that actually works. This just looks like they said, Vita, you got to be on stage in 2 minutes. And you just was like, I'm blow drying my wig, and you threw it on. Now, Athena, I like this. A lot of people didn't like, I feel like this, I don't know. People were like, she looks so old. Why does she make herself look so old? Not everybody wants to be this, little pop star heartthrob, skin. I like when the queens do a little age play and do something that is matronly or that is more mature or that is older, elderly, or from a different, like, I don't know. And then I feel like her material fit the brief. I don't know if this is a double-sided fabric. Like, I don't know if it has I don't know if this is a 2-tone fabric or if she lined it, but I thought that this was really cool. I liked it. Now, Mikey, girl, okay, you know how you go to the zoo and it starts raining and they give you the cheapest ponchos that you ever did see. That's what this is giving. This is supposed to be a suit. You probably can't even see it. I don't. This was a little too see-through. Now the body is right. I don't mind the hair and makeup. I probably would have did the ponytail a little differently, but I like the idea of it. But they just boring little Ross dress for less lingerie, so with this damn zoo poncho. Baby, you tried it. Now Discord, this it right here. This is Lady Gaga. This is Met Gala. This is fashion. This is couture. This is crazy. This is good. It gave Britney Spears. Yes, Discord. No notes. No notes, Discord. You did that. For me, you did that. Now, Nene. Now, I said this looks like something I could see Monet Exchange wearing. And come to find out, Monet didn't like this. I was like, huh. Interesting. Now, I think I would have did something different with the bra part, but the fact that she's like a little candy wrapper or something and the candy earrings, I thought that was cute. I lived for it. I wasn't mad, but I think they need to be a little more clear about the briefs for the girls, because it looked like everybody got a different one. That's just my thought. So now we go to the ads. It's time for the ads. So first up, we have Jane and Kenya. Jane did well. Like, she checked off all the boxes. I didn't laugh. I liked this challenge for the messaging behind it and everything, but yeah, oftentimes a lot of girls struggle with this challenge. And then it was just a lot of the repetitive jokes, things that we've seen before. It's really no innovation or nothing like that here. A lot of people really enjoyed Jane's performance and stuff. I don't know. It was fine for me. I enjoyed Kenya more. I thought it was more just kind of naturally funny. But them as a pair, overall, it was great. They had Prop C, which was to add the letter C to the LGBTQIA. And so that was their prop. They got a proposition that it was like a parody. It was funny. They didn't get like a serious one. So that's, yeah. And I like that Kenya threw in a joke referring to herself about knowing your words and all of that. I thought that was cute. And then I thought that, and really honestly, based off of Kenya's performance, I could see her getting a top placement, but I was like, it's going to depend on how they feel about the runway. If they feel the way I felt about the runway, you're not going to get that win. Next up, we have Mia and Juicy and their prop, Double D. Make padding, boobies, and lace fronts mandatory for all drag queens. Juicy was okay. She was just okay. Mia was decent enough. She had some funny moments. But I need to know, is Mia black? Is Mia black? Because the black sin is a lot. So I don't know. I mean, if she's black, it was funny. If she's not black, I don't know how I feel about this in 2026. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. So yeah. And also I would just say the girls had to, if I didn't say this before, one girl is talking about the pros and the other one is the cons. So, if you want to see the skits, go check it out. They have them posted over there on the Instagrammies and maybe on the YouTubes. Okay. Then we had Darlene and Vita. They had prop for real. Ban all social media / look queens. Darlene was really good. Like I said, Darlene was excellent in the filming and the finished product. It was so funny. She has a natural talent. The girl can act. She was super funny. Vita was okay. Barely. Not even. And I just want to say it was okay because I don't want to be too mean. Michelle points out that she didn't fully match the brief. I agree, but also seems like the brief wasn't clear. The judges went in on Vita. They really did. Athena and Mikey. They had prop 6969, oppose foreign trade. I put they were both just okay, barely. I mean, it was kind of weak, but it was fine. It did what it needed to do. Athena did use the accent for the challenge. I did figure that out. The judges really loved it, especially Mikey. But I feel like they're trying to compensate for last week. I think that they felt bad that she got voted in the bottom when she really didn't deserve to be voted in the bottom necessarily. And I feel like they was really putting on for Mikey this week to make up for it. But then again, maybe it was all genuine. I don't know. Discord and Nene. They had prop Kai Kai. Or it was either prop Kiki or Kai Kai. I think it was Kai Kai. Yeah, ban Kai Kai between drag queens. Discord was great. Nene did well enough. About how we expected. Discord's another natural. Discord's bit reminded me of Naomi and Valentina's Club 96, if y'all remember that. The judges ate them up in a good way. They ate it up. They loved it. They loved their looks and they loved their performance in the challenge. And I was like, that's fair. That's great. The top ended up being Darlene, Mikey, and Jane. Okay. They gave Mikey the win. Girl, bye. With that look, like I said, Mikey, congratulations. I'm glad you got your win. She won $5,000, of course. But I really feel like they, you know what I'm saying? In the bottom left Mia, Juicy, and Vita. And I think I about agreed with that. The bottom two end up being Juicy and Vita. They, and all the girls are gagged. You know. I see Vita being in the bottom. But I thought maybe Juicy's runway would save her. But I don't know who I would have put in the bottom if not Juicy. I think Juicy is good. And then before the lip sync even happened, I said I thought that Juicy was going to stay, but depending on what the song was, I was like, Vita might have a chance. And it also depended on their outfits and if they were going to be able to get out and move around. So the song that they lip sync to was Houdini by Dua Lipa. Love Dua Lipa. And then, Juicy was doing a lot that kind of didn't really fit with the song, but she was kind of carrying a little bit more than Vita. Vita was doing good, but when Juicy hit that "Slave for You" choreography to the Dua song, I was like, man, that was a nice little moment. But it was just too many tricks. You don't need to do flips and cartwheels and split that's you doing a lot. That's cool, wonderful that you're able to do all that, but not every song need all that. Relax. Juicy stays, Vita goes. I wrote here this was a hard one for everyone. The competition just got real. The girls couldn't even dance in the end. Like, at the end of the show, the girls come out on stage and they do the moon or whatever. Whatever the song is, it's different every season. But they just were on stage and they were just sobbing and everyone was crying. Even Rue and Michelle looked like they were gonna cry. We were all crying. I was crying because it was just so emotional. I'm like, and it's not so much that I'm like, ooh, a Vita super fan, but it's just at the point now where this halfway point is kind of hard because no one. It's hard to be first out, but in the Drag Race world, you get the title of being the pork chop of the season because pork chop is the first queen out on the very first season, and it's kind of like an honorary award, and people remember the first out. So at least you have that. You came all that way. You didn't get to show your package and stuff, but you have something. You know what I mean? When you get halfway, it's like you come so far, yet you're so far away. and you still have the last little bit of your package. The girls who make it to the top 4, even if they don't win, at least you got to show your whole package. You got to, do the finale thing, and you're going to be remembered as a top 3, as a top 4. But these middle girls that leave, it's tough because it's tough. It was really quite emotional. Juicy was just destroyed. Juicy couldn't even, bless her little heart. I wrote that I can't wait to see Vita come back for an All-Stars. I think there's a little bit of a wall there. And once she gets rid of that wall and, gets used to being on TV and whatever, just grow a little bit, I have a feeling she could come back and get a crown. I do see her with a crown on an All-Stars. So let's move on to Untucked. Darlene and Mia seem to have bonded after their back and forth. Glad to see friends making up. Apparently Jane borrowed a bunch of stuff from Darlene. We talked about that. That was super sweet. Mia's makeup is rough. I don't know. I think she just needs to. I think she's still painting for the club, painting for the stage, and not for TV. That's a very easy fix. I think her skills and the base of the makeup skills that she had, I think is fine. It's just she's got to clean it up a little bit. I like to see that Mia gave Darlene her props on doing a great job with the thing. And then someone asked Mia if she had buyer's remorse after, doing all that hooting and hollering to get that proposition only to not do well with it. And Mia was like, no, I don't regret it because honestly, I think I would have struggled with whatever I got. So I don't know if she just wants to admit that, I fought too hard for some because it's like, well, it's no use in crying over spilled milk. Or if she's just like, I need to take some acting classes. I don't know. Jane in her confessional talks about how shocking it is to see some of the biggest competitors in the bottom, and no matter what happens, it's going to be devastating. And, she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. It was very devastating. Discord talks about how hard it would be to lose Vita. Well, Discord, you're about to find out a tough truth, honey. Cut to. And, but also, Discord, look, I'm glad you got an affinity for Mia. Mia is a great queen. I understand why you're a fan and everything. But let us not forget that Vita sat up here and told you that she had you and she put you second to bottom. And you ever told me, I'm going to miss Vita. I wouldn't miss nobody almost got me sent home. But, whatever. It is what it is. They seem to be close. That's cute. Great for them. And then I wrote, I'm sorry, but Athena seems so performative with Juicy. Like, whenever Athena is consoling Juicy or trying to help her to feel better and stuff, I'm just like, I don't know. Something about it just seems disingenuous. I'm so sorry. Nene talks with Discord about the other girls not seeing it for them. I'm happy to see them bond. And yeah, I did think it was kind of weird that, I don't know. It seems like people are kind of counting out Nene in Discord. I don't know why, because they are just as y'all need to watch out. But anyways, it's nice to see them bond, especially after the first episode. They kind of got off on the wrong foot, and then Nene putting Discord in the bottom, and blah blah blah. It's nice to see that they have turned a new leaf. Although some saying it's still the same leaf, but whatever. Anyways, they're friends right now. I liked Vita's makeup. Vita's makeup was very pretty. I'm not crazy about Mia's wig. We already talked about it. One of the funny things that happened was they were looking at like the Polaroid collage pictures that were on the wall that the girls, been taking throughout the season. And there really wasn't any of Athena. Athena was like, I need some I don't want to be forgotten. Somebody get some pictures of me on here. The way she was saying it, that was a funny moment. She was like, I want some pictures of me on the wall. I don't want to be forgotten. That was cute. Mia and Juicy plan to do the Slave for Euphoria. We find out that that's why they were practicing it, and that's while Juicy did it in the final lip sync. They had planned to do that together, and that would have been really cute. And it could have been a double save. But anyways, they were gonna do that if they were both in the bottom. At the end of towards the end of the episode, Athena's struggling to put her shoe on, and she's sitting in like kind of like this rolly little stool chair. And then Juicy pushes the chair, and man, Athena go rolling all off the stage into the cameras. And then none of the camera people try to, nobody tried to stop the chair. Everybody just moved to the side. She all rolling off the stage. Oh man, that was funny. That was funny. And then they showed again a little bit of the final lip sync. They showed, Vito walking backstage, after losing. And everyone walking off stage just crying, just broken. Juicing can't even make it all the way back to the workroom. It has to sit down. They get her some water. She's really just going through it. Just really, it's very emotional. But then everybody kind of, tries to cheer up Juicy. And Discord turns and looks at the camera. Discord turns and looks at the cameraman like, why are you all in their face? Why are you all in their face? Like, yeah, get the shot in the crying and stuff, but you don't have to film this girl this girl was just look like, man, that was like, yeah. And and even then with Athena sitting there comforting Juicy and stuff, that was the most sincere I felt like, but also even that felt performative. Even if this girl in her most broken moment, I don't know. Athena, maybe she's just not an affectionate person or something. I don't know. It seems sincere, more sincere in that moment, but it still is some disconnect there for that to be your grandbaby. Anyways, that's all that I have for you for this week of boop, boop, boop. That's all I have for you for this week for Nellyville Reviews, episode 7, season 18 of Drag Race. I will catch you in the next one, darling, and bye.